Good evening, everybody. We're a day late. We're past the NFL trade deadline. It's Cowboys week, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, and it's not going to be political, but
No politics. No politics in this podcast at all today. We promise.
it might be political. I'm going to go to monologue, so don't interrupt. Let me cook. The division and the league is better when the Cowboys and the Giants are good. We need competition, okay? I know the Commanders are pretty good. We need competition. I posted a meme earlier, and people were really quick to just, I'm going to unfollow you and all that stuff. When James Bradbury was held in the Super Bowl, and some people said we should have let him play, it was a hold. It doesn't matter. We lost. Okay? We lost the game. There's calls every week that go your way every week. We're going to talk Eagles, Jags. We're going to talk everything. In 2020, there's fraud. There's voter fraud. There was this and that. Trump lost. Pennsylvania goes a different way this time. You lost. The Commanders gave a third-round pick, or the Eagles gave a third-round pick to the Commanders for Jahan Dotson. Now they got a cornerback and Marshon Lattimore that's going to be able to defend Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. We lost the trade. You had 4 years of Clinton, 8 years of Bush, the World Trade Center, Bin Laden, 8 years of Obama, 4 years of Trump, COVID. He lost. He came back. You had some states legalize weed. States vote against it. You had states deny it. You had states vote pro-choice, states vote pro-life, pro-choice states that also voted in favor of Trump. All the things I've mentioned on Dallas Week this week, all of those things have happened before the Cowboys have made it out of the second round.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
20 years.
By the way, another 1,000 people unfollowed us just in that moment.
Just on that 3-minute rant.
Yeah. By the way, how soft are you to unfollow a page? You said, I love your page. I love all of the thousands of hours of content and things that you put in, and you unfollow because of a halfway political meme. It wasn't even political. It was like semi-political.
There's winners and losers and everything. The games.
There's winners.
And one person, and there's cheating and the refs, and it's fixed, and you bet on sports, and you bet on this, and you think, you win, you lose, whatever. But, hey, we beat the Jags. We're going to talk the Jags. We had a lot of controversy. That was a fun-ass tailgate, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was an all-timer. I like our new flow. I love FDR Park. It's great. It's a great start-out spot for us now. But we go, we see our core, we eat, we meet up. It's a great meetup spot. It's a great out. Like if you love efficiently getting out after the game is over, it's a great place to be because you get a great out. But like around that like meaty part of the tailgate, it is really fun to go inside the main lots and sort of see all the creatures who I've dubbed the freak show. The Philly sports guy, Nady, you always run into all these crazies, Santa Claus, E-Rock, Sean.
The freak show with a PH in a good way.
4th and John. Yeah, 4th and John boys. And it's been a lot of fun. We've been running a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys come up to us and hug us and take pictures with us. I'm working on something crazy with somebody that I connected with that I don't want to say too much about, but I am going to lift a gigantic curse that was placed on the Philadelphia Eagles weeks before they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Something happened in my life that has cursed the Eagles ever since that I think we're undoing. So I'm going to cliffhanger that. You have to follow the page to learn more about that. By the way, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you follow us on YouTube and subscribe, we're giving away a jersey to the first 1,000. in our links and everywhere we go. We had all kinds of cool stuff. We partnered up with Homage. If you can see, I'm rocking the new Saquon Angry Runs tee from Homage, probably the most comfortable t-shirt known to mankind. So make sure you're following us and linking up with us at the tailgate.
Heck yeah. And we got the website, philthyandphilly.com. Since this is a very niche group of our friends, I'll let you all in a little bit of a secret here. I've been posting me drinking a beer in my driveway every day. And the me drinking a beer in my driveway every day, there's a nice polls in there that you can participate in the polls. And on philthyandphilly.com, we want to thank our sponsors on there and all our partners on there. We think the biggest thing going and the next frontier, we're going to have articles on there, picks, betting. We like a betting sponsor and we like a beer sponsor. So I'm having a beer every day. I've been sending it out and tagging a lot of beer brands, local brands, big brands, Miller Lite, Bud Light, National, Canada, Labatt, seltzers,
Non-alcoholics, caffeinated, highly caffeinated beverages for your brother.
I would do energy drink too, yeah. But really, I think just with men and what we do, and we're looking for 2025, the official beer of Philthy and Philly. We're looking forward to 2025. So yeah, the website and the YouTube weekly giveaways on there. I know I got all kinds of gear. We just sent my boy Mike a sick hat from Homage. So that's gonna be good. But so we'll get in the Eagles Jags game, and it's Dallas week. And then we're gonna talk Joel Embiid suspension. Jason Kelsey apologizes. So some of that happened over the weekend too that we missed. But the Eagles came out finally fast this week, and
as predicted by yours truly.
The main storyline, though, is why is every week good, bad, or indifferent that Nick Sirianni, you have Saquon Barkley hurtling over people's heads? Why does every week have to somehow be about Nick Sirianni making calls, controversial calls, yelling at fans? He was good. He went for it. He kicked it. Why is it he's always got to insert himself? This is a good team. This is a playoff team.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The going for two didn't make me feel as terrible as some of the field goal stuff. The going for two, when they did it, they were up by a pretty solid margin. That it really put you up 2 full scores the first time they went for two. So that didn't bug me so much, but when they pull the 3 off in the second half, that was a lot more bothersome to me. And you also aren't getting any help from Elliott not making that second kick. So if you start adding all these points up, the other thing that nobody's really talking too much about is the terrible, terrible referee call on the Saquon Barkley scoop and score. Saquon Barkley was clearly down. He was touched. I don't want to hear stumble. I don't want to hear he was incidentally touched and blah, blah, blah. How many times have you watched in these games where a guy like falls over and the guy's finger like lightly touches his thigh and they're down by contact? How is Saquon Barkley not down there? I think take those points off the board, and that masks a little of the Sirianni mistakes, but Sirianni has to stop being so unconventional. This is such a conventional football team. There's no reason to reinvent it. Just go out there, run the ball mostly. When you need the yards, A.J. Brown will be there. Devontae Smith will be there to make a play for you. The defense is making plays for you. Just be normal, bro. Just be normal.
Yeah, I think it's correctable, and I think wishful thinking, but I think when they play better teams and the game's tighter, they kind of have to take the points there. If they don't, I mean, but when you look at the attempts, like if you look at Jake Elliott's attempts, like between 50 and 59 and 60 plus, he has almost the same amount of attempts as all the other like top kickers. So it tells me two things. We're either all the other teams are going for it just as much or attempting field goals just as much as us, or we're driving the field more than them and being idiots and not taking field goals, or it's it's just I haven't really paid attention too much of the other teams of like whether or not they go for it or what side of the field they're on. I think a 57 he's got to make, the only one that he's really missed. But I think at any point in that series, if you go up 9 points in the game, um, even if the Jags like score a touchdown and it's a 2 point game and we win by two, I think the fans are feeling a lot better. I think the fact that we left it in the chances that it was like a 5 point game or a 6 point game and they could have done a walk off touchdown at the end there and we had to get saved. That's what made everybody feel a little bit worried about the game and about Nick. But I thought they played pretty well. I didn't think they were going to cover. It was 7.5 point line. Still won by 5 and or so. This week is now with Dak out. This week the Eagles are like a touchdown favorite. So
Yeah, it's been tough for me to get up for this Dallas week. This is one of my isms, things I always say. I like to play the team. If I'm playing the Chiefs, I want to play against Patrick Mahomes. If I'm playing against the Cowboys, I want to play against Dak Prescott. I don't want to play against backups. Eagles historically do not play well against backups. And it's really difficult to play against a backup in his first outing of a season because there's no tape on him. You don't exactly know what you're going to get. You get a guy like Cooper Rush that really wants to shine, possibly make a name for himself, possibly go to a team that's struggling or get a deal next season. You're going to get his best on Sunday. And it's an away game, and you and I were in that stadium last season. I don't give a crap what they say about loud stadiums. It is the loudest place I've ever been to. It reverberates inside the dome. They pump music in. There's Eagles flying. There's Budweiser commercials. It is a really hard stadium to play in regardless, plus the division. So I am cautiously optimistic about the game. I'm not going to pick the Eagles to lose. I would not pick the Eagles to cover on Sunday, though. Getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but this is a weird Dallas week for me with the quarterback being out.
yeah, Cooper Rush is 5-1. The lone loss to us, I think it was that viral video we had on TikTok when we were like zooming in on that guy. And he was like,
yes, it was.
This is his only loss. He's actually been very good game manager type guy. So you need Jalen Hurts to continue to not turn the ball over and be fundamentally sound. Like like you said, this is like a fundamental team. They run the ball. They're playing good defense now. You need to take points when they're available for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
we don't need a lot of
worry about Nick Sirianni. You don't want it to be about what choices he makes.
Yeah, let's go positive for a minute. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league statistically right now over the past 4 weeks. Do you think he's turned the corner, or do you think he's just playing good against bad teams?
No, I think he's fine. I think although the offense looks similar, they might have had new ways of calling things. They had a few games. AJ Brown was out 3 games.
Yeah.
They had that horrible Bucks game where they literally had nobody. They've had a lot of moving parts on the offensive line. Jalen Hurts needs to call protections now that Jason Kelsey's not on the team anymore. I think he's settled in nicely, to be honest. And I think there was just a lot thrown at him. I think there was still a little bit of a hangover from the year before. I think they've finally gotten past that. Not that they don't have a lot to improve on, but he's good. If he can play mistake free, it's going to be good. They got to get Dallas Goedert back. They got to get healthy, but he's the best. He's the best quarterback in the division. I'm not ready to anoint Jaden Daniels yet. They've have a very similar schedule to us. They play basically all the same teams. So that
is this crazy? And I didn't post about this, but you just brought up Dallas Goedert. I don't know if this is even possible, but was he tradable at the trade deadline? And here's why I say this. We're at I believe, the time with Dallas Goedert where we were with Zach Ertz, where he's like probably as good as he's ever going to be. Like, I don't think all of a sudden you're going to get some crazy amount of production out of Goedert. And I don't even think you need a stud tight end with the team that they had. I thought he could have been a good trade piece for us to bolster the defense. Maybe. What's your thoughts on Goddard? You a Goddard guy?
He's played well. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. They've notoriously groomed somebody behind him, like you said. Like they had Selleck.
Okay, Calcaterra is pretty good.
He's okay. They had Selleck, and then Ertz came along, and then Ertz, and then Goddard came along. Goddard, I don't know if they would ever hand it over to Calcaterra. Maybe they would draft somebody. Like if they drafted like a Brock Bowers this year or somebody like that out of college, like a true slot, like big boy type guy, maybe they would do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted the next guy in the next year or two and then slowly phased out. But like you said, like at that point, he's worth as much as he's ever been now. I'm really shocked that they did nothing. And like I talked
Yeah, they
about in
did
my rant,
nothing.
like the Redskins got a cornerback now to try and defend against us. We have zero pass rush. Like, could you? Yeah, I would have. I'm not going to trade. You've got locked in under contract now Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith that you can't really move off of. Like, I would have to get a pass rusher for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just thought I think it's the only trade piece I think that they had that made any sense that you could survive without, that had some oomph to it, that like a hurting team might want.
Yeah, especially with team at
I'm a tight end hater. I've never been a big tight end guy.
Eagles have always had good ones, but I think like the Chiefs they needed a receiver and they went out and got it. We had a position of need with the edge rusher, I think. Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins, and I think I don't know. We kind of gave up a mid pick. We've notoriously given up a 3 or a 4 for a guy. It hasn't really worked out for us a few times. We've gotten defensive player. I think we got that guy from the Bears who like kind of stunk.
Yeah,
But Fangio said he was cool with what he had, which I guess that's what he's supposed to say. But I don't know. Are you concerned they didn't do anything? Or are you good with what they got?
I'm concerned. My main concern would be with how good I think the Detroit Lions are.
Yeah,
And
and they got
the
an edge.
Detroit Lions, they got better, right? And then Washington, and they got better. Are we as good as those teams? I don't know. I think the Eagles will just be like in any given Sunday territory when they play these more advanced sort of teams, these teams that are built a little bit better. We're gonna be dogs in these playoffs for sure. Might
Yeah, I
catch you
don't
if
know
you
how
win
it
the
shakes
division.
out. Like Sam, I don't know where they really stack up because you got with that Hail Mary thing that really kicked you. Like I said, they have the Eagles and the Commanders have the same virtual schedule. You don't know who they're going to draw, but yeah, they'll probably be dogs if they play like the Lions of the world, or if they're a wild card and the Commanders win the division. I think Sam Darnold doesn't scare me, but the Lions they'll probably be a wild card team too, so you won't draw the Vikings. But I think I can pull it up, but it's a weird layout now. But I think the Niners are like 4-4, and the Cardinals are winning that division. So the Eagles are definitely a playoff
Crazy.
team. I think they're at 80 after the win. They're at like 80 something percent to make the playoffs now. They have the like top spot out of the 3 wild cards. One of the top spots now. They were like at 80%, and then there was that Hail Mary, and they actually dropped down to like 30% and weren't holding a wild card spot. And then they won against the Jags, and now they're back to like an 80 something percent chance to make the playoffs. And this week helped their analytics a lot with playing Cooper Rush, like 7.5-point favorites this week. But they got a tough little stretch here. They got Cowboys. It's not a gimme. It's tough down there. I can still see the Eagles potentially losing the game this week. Got Commanders on Thursday night. Got the LA. You got the Baltimore Ravens coming up. They're tough, but I wish they would have done more. I think they're just gonna roll with what they got because they're playing well though. Two things too. Before we get back to like Eagles Cowboys and our picks, the Jags game was awesome. But the two big things prior to the Eagles Jags game were Jason Kelsey slammed a phone, and Joel Embiid got suspended 3 games for shoving Marcus Hayes, who I don't think anybody really likes. Somebody wrote on here, "Don't get political." You had your choices and stuff yesterday, and it was very divisive. I don't think there's. I think there's like 90% of people don't like Marcus Hayes though. You had to take that to a vote.
Again, nothing was political. The Phil, if he could be tuning in and commenting on your early rant, which was a joke. But
Yeah.
Again, nobody ever gets jokes when it comes to politics. So it is what it is. My stance on Jason Kelsey has evolved. At first, I was like everybody else, like, heck yeah, nobody calls my brother that, right?
Yeah.
And then I like matured in my thinking as like the time went on, and I question why this man doesn't have like a full-time security guard with him, like a big Dom type, just there to just keep people like that away from even being there. So I attribute some fault to Jason there. And then like classically, and like your classic assault legal, like tort law, basic law, no matter what anybody ever says to you, you never in our society have a right to go hands on, whether you're punching that person or whether you're grabbing their phone and throwing it. So I definitely thought Jason was wrong there for that part of the reaction. But then did you see the third angle? And we didn't even post it because I had moved on from the issue, so I didn't want to talk about it anymore.
I had the one take like right away where I got it. Like rather than just post the video,
I'll keep talking. If you can try to find it, there's a new angle that dropped that is after the phone smash. So then, so now my opinion sort of evolved the third time. So after the phone smash, the kid gets a full sprint running start and shoves Kelsey from behind and actually knocks him to the ground. Like Kelsey stumbles and falls over.
I didn't see that. I saw where he was calling Kelsey the slur, and then Kelsey said the slur back to him. So one, he should have never.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
He said, I guess he called him the F word.
Right. Well, I heard the kid call him that.
Call him that, and then after he slammed the phone, he said, "Now who's the F word now?" So he was like, when he apologized, he said, I never want to greet hate with hate because that's not a winning formula.
Oh, I just thought it was the violence of the toss.
No, he said the word right back to the guy. So yeah, I mean,
it's tough. It's like classic 2 wrongs don't make a right kind of thing. Jason's got to be the bigger man. He's the millionaire. He should.
I didn't know he got shoved. I didn't know he got shoved.
Yeah, if you could, I don't know. It's hard to make. I don't want to make you randomly pull up something that you don't know on the spot, but it is all over there. I just didn't share it because I didn't want to really deal with it.
Yeah, he's not proud of it. It's funny. I was at the Deauville Inn today, and Adam was telling me that they like came there to eat or whatever, and they have this little like grass turf thing, and they put them up there, like they just pulled the table out with like 4 chairs or whatever, and they put like 4 guys around him just so nobody could get up to him, and he said it was just horrible. Like they had all security there, and then people were still trying to push through that to take pictures with him, and then people were just like,
he's too famous, man. He's too famous at this point.
Yelling stuff at him.
And in an Eagles lot's friendly, you're going to go into a Dolan's. What's up, Dolan's Bar?
Dude, did you see Dolan's Bar on the news yesterday?
I did not. I watched so much news yesterday, but I didn't. But
he was on politics. They had the like.
Oh, they were there interviewing people?
9 people in the audience, like in studio on the news. And they went to one guy who was on one side, but he was voting for the other side's candidate because I'm not going to go down that hole. And he was from PA, and they was like, "Oh, I'm registered as this, but I'm voting for that, and here's why." And he was in New York City, and he said, "Go Birds" to the camera. He was in New York City on the news. Again, I won't say what station. I might be shareable. We might have to share the clip. You might have to send us the clip.
Yeah, I need the clip.
He's sitting right next to the guy who got like a lot. I saw his interview, but I didn't see him talk really. So he's gonna send it. But yeah, he was sitting right next to the guy. They interviewed a guy from PA and he told him who he was voting for and why. And then our boys, PJ Dolan's bar. He was like, go, but he looked at the camera and he was like, go Birds. It was funny.
I love it.
It was really good. And I found Jason Kelce, he gets shoved.
Yeah, this is it. That's the end.
Did he get a running start? No, he just shoved. Oh my god!
And
so
then
he ran up again, and
yeah, that's after the bone smash. And then the kid like runs over to the camera of the person videotaping him, and he's just chirping, and he just really comes off as a really entitled, spoiled, rotten kid that probably deserved what came to him. Again, I don't like that he did the eye for an eye thing, but
yeah.
I'm answering a TikTok question right now because by the way, Phil, if you see me talking but it's muted, it's because I'm talking to TikTok. I got a third live going. TikTok people, we are live on Philthy and Philly on Facebook and Instagram. So just go to either one and put in Philthy and Philly and come join us if you want to watch Phil. But you got the audio for Phil and you're stuck looking at me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull this up. This is.
I'm Harris Faulkner. We are watching a race for the White House like no other. Voters all across America know their power. And with me for the evening, the linchpin of our great republic, the voters' voices. They fall along the full political spectrum. And I've also invited my friend and polling expert,
There he is with the
Lee Carter, president of Mass Landscape.
And then the guy to the left of him got like I saw him got interviewed. And it was good. But he's like, go Birds. I got to drive up to Dolan's, dude. I need to come to Delco Day or something.
Yeah, we need to go for a bye or we need to go for an away game and make a whole
just go chill, kick it.
It would be great if it was like a Sunday night or Saturday night away game. Like maybe like we catch a playoff game that's away and it's the Saturday. I would go up there and spend a Saturday night. That would be so fun.
It's a good time. Yeah, so anyway, back to it. So the Jason Kelce shove was crazy. And then I'm not really worried. We mostly Eagles, Phillies, and stuff. I'm not really worried about the Sixers. Like I think they'll make the playoffs, but then you had literally the day after you had Embiid shove a reporter for talking about his family. So you had people attack Jason about Travis Kelce, and then Marcus Hayes makes a comment about Joel Embiid and his long lost brother and his son Arthur, who's named after him. He basically said, if you want to, Joel Embiid always says, I played for these guys. They're like my motivation and stuff like that. And Marcus Hayes wrote an article basically saying if you want to be good at your job, you have to actually show up to work because he's not playing after he played. I think it's been by design. We talked about this on the ride up to the Eagles game. Like, if you have a team that always gets injured the last month or two of the season, they're just cutting the first 2 months out of the year. You had the Phillies that always started slow and surged at the end. And then this year, the Phillies started fast and then they fell apart at the end. It was like the exact opposite of like what you want to happen. Jalen Hurts started really, really slow at the beginning of the year. And now he's not turning the ball over. He's progressing. And you want to be playing your best football in November and December. So like I just think as a big picture thing, there's just so much turmoil. Social media. We talked about it with when Kyle was on from the turnaround. Like there's so much mental pressure, social media, stuff like that. Like these athletes, these guys, they finally reached like their breaking point. Like they've had enough.
Yeah.
I
Again,
see in the comment, post one little joke.
Security guard. That's why you need to walk around with a security guard.
We post one little joke on social media, and people just lose it. They're like, I'm unfollowing you. Like people are
everybody's on edge. Everybody's on their last final thread. By the way, people still on here. This is the Philthy and Philly podcast. It's every Tuesday night normally around 8:00, but we pushed it to Wednesday because of the news. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. We have a giveaway on our YouTube. If you subscribe, we're giving away a jersey. And right now we're live on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah, so Eagles Jags game was great. It was lit. Eagles fans came in too. There was the Eagles fly home group that came, and we hit all the tailgates. Shout out to C6. Got to give the flowers to them. We went to 4th and John tailgate. We went to see Bobby, Lot D, Temp, and like Marissa.
By the way, can we talk about the food at Bobby's for like 1 second? Did you eat at Bobby's?
I didn't.
It was fire. I walked up to him. I was like, where did those rolls come from? And I actually forget. I got to ask him again. But meatballs, sauce, pasta, cheesesteaks. He had whiz, like the whiz heated up to like whiz your cheesesteak. Like,
he goes hard.
Good food. And everybody was like really like hospitable to me. Like, come make a plate. Like, I felt like I was back at Nan's house. Like, make a plate, make a plate.
You gotta go meet. You gotta eat.
It's like a real South Philly, like Italian squad, and they were awesome.
And then Chase, you gave me his beer with.
Yeah, I missed that little interaction with you and him.
That was good, and I got on his video. That was funny, but it was good. And I don't like IPAs, but it had like no, like it wasn't strong, it wasn't bitter, it had no like hoppy taste at all. It was just like really crushable, kind of hazy, smooth. And I was ripping that. I took a picture with Santa. Picture with Santa was nice. I gotta see if I can find that picture with Santa.
I love it.
Picture with Santa. Where we at?
I'll try to flip this around.
The boy PJ was on the news. All right, yeah. Santa and a man with a purse. So this is my wife's clear bag. I usually bring like 2 battery chargers for my phone, and I usually bring like microphones and things like that so I can bring it in the stadium. What'd you take a picture of?
I wasn't. I was showing the TikTok people. I got a bunch of people on here.
Oh, TikTok. TikTok's great.
TikTok's lit.
Yeah, we gotta get TikTok. My good friend Brian and Dan Goldberg now, AC Breaks, are doing crazy card breaks on TikTok. I was talking to Dan Goldberg today. And
no way.
Alex's mom found a 1996 Japanese booster pack. It was already open. I didn't leave it sealed, but it had a freaking Charizard in it. It's probably worth like a few $100. If it's 10, it might be like worth like thousands of dollars. 1996 base set.
Where did you find that?
Alex's mom had it. It was open. It's a Japanese starter deck. So you get a full deck of cards to play the game, and you get 1 out of the 16 original holos, but the Japanese version, not English version. Right. So every box comes with 1. So it's Charizard, Blastoise.
Whose was that? Alex had Pokemon cards?
Alex. So it's open, but all the cards are like mint. Like they're not heavy played at all. They're like really like crispy new, but it's not sealed. It's got a manual. It's got like dice and counters to like play the game.
And it's a old school item?
96 original print, baby.
Wow.
Anyway, my collectors out there, my sports guys and my anime guys. Let's get it. So anyway, sick game, Eagles Jags. Let's do our meme. We'll do our picks first, and then we'll do our meme of the week, and then we'll see y'all next week. Eagles Cowboys. Like I said, Eagles Cowboys are FanDuel has Cowboys +7. Bet365 has Cowboys +7.5. So it's Eagles -7. Eagles -7.5. -360, 370 on the money line. +290 for the Cowboys. The over/under is 41. It's really low.
Whoa, that's wickedly low. Wonder why is that? Is because AJ Brown's hurt and he's kind of questionable, and they know the Eagles' offense is kind of bleh without him. Plus Cooper Rush. Well,
I think
listen,
the Eagles win.
It's a division game. Division game's always a field goal with me. Especially after I watched the Eagles not be able to cover the Jags the week before, barely cover the Browns. I'll say 24-21. That'll be a over.
24-21's over. I'll do 23-17, which would be under because it's 41. That's 40.
It could be that ugly. It truthfully could.
It's going to be a fun one. And so we're going to do our picks every week. We're looking for a sports.
That's a lot of field goals, bro. 23, 14, then 17.
Maybe they go through. Maybe they go for 2 and they don't get it.
I need that for fantasy. That's a lot of Jake Elliott. I'm going with Jake Elliott.
Maybe he'll actually take the points this week after last week. He'll try and overcorrect.
He did that. By the way, this is the first time he did this crazy meddling in the game, I feel like, in a few weeks.
Yeah, he does try and overcorrect after that. So 23-17. So we have philthyandphilly.com up now. I've been doing a little bit of articles. It's still in beta phase, but looking for the beer, and we're looking for our picks. We need our sports book of choice for 2025. I don't need anything now. It's November, December. It's my goal. It's my New Year's resolution and my holiday gift. We're gonna have a beer.
I know what my thing could be, because it'll be a little bit cooler than and it'll be on brand or on whatever the trends are these days. Is like an upper decky, but like a natural one, like
a caffeine one.
A caffeine one, yeah, because I'm out of tobacco nicotine.
Like Tiza. It's like tea leaves.
Yeah, we should do
green tea, caffeine, Tiza.
Perfect.
I'd mess with that. Yeah, I really want the beer. I think big beer. I think especially too. I think the stocks and everything are ripping, and I think beer brands are going to start spending some money. People are going to start spending some money on advertising, and we're going to have beer in our sports book. Hard Rock's been coming on big. Hard Rock Bet, Caesars, any of them. I'll take any. I love FanDuel, our boy Jeff that got us to the Fan Fest. DraftKings, I love. They sent us beer and hats and stuff. Take any of them. But anyway, so I got 23-17. He's got 24-20. What did you say? 24-20?
24-21. What's
your meme of the week presented by our friends at Pond Lee Hockey?
My meme of the week presented by our great friends at Pond Lee Hockey. Which, by the way, did I tell you that random night in the summer I ran into Sam Pond after I had just met him for the first time?
Yeah, at dinner. Yeah.
I had my wife at anniversary dinner, and it was this like crazy underground place that I would never normally be at. And I like turned to my left, and he turned, and it was like, "You come here too?" He like hugged me, took a picture. He's like, "What a great guy." Anyway, I liked Saquon jumping backwards was my favorite thing of the week and one of the most well-performing. But I always try to pick something that I just happen to like and something that I created. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. Mine is when I'm on one in the lots, but I still want to show brotherly love. It's a reel on Instagram. And it's one of those ones that made me laugh. And I laughed while I was writing it. And I posted it, and it didn't do so good, but it was my favorite. So that's my meme of the week.
Nice. I do not have it up, but
it's on Reels.
Oh, I got it right here. Share that.
The MMA guy.
There you go. Just
I'll find the things they say just can't be found. I'll share this love out on the tunnel.
Oh my God.
So it's an MMA fight, and the guy's mouthpiece falls out. And instead of just continuing to punch him in the face, he stops, picks the mouthpiece, shoves the mouthpiece back in his mouth, and then continues to pound on the guy's face. I thought that was a good Philly fans are angry stereotype.
I did a lot of original green screen stuff, which I guess that effect just kills it. I have no idea that like Barstool guy Kevin, that's like his like main John. That's like all he does every day. He just reacts to like breaking news. But I've been having fun with that. I'm not gonna pick any of that. What I'm gonna pick is gonna be super rando. I just saw it here. It is going to be it's not even a meme. It's not even a meme.
Is it a mistake I made or something stupid I shouldn't have posted? Probably.
No, we posted this and then immediately Penn State got it. Like, they went up 10-0. And
we bring the boom. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, guys.
They were up 10-0. We posted this and then they just got like smoked. And we don't really care about college football. You went to Rutgers. I didn't go to football school, so.
Yeah, Ohio State and Penn State. I want them all to lose. You Penn State and Cal State in the parking lot. Get wrecked, Penn State. You're dead to me. I could care less about Penn State.
Guys, I guess our message of the week on that, and we'll let you go. Follow us on all our things. Is sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but you still got to wake up and go to work.
Unless you're playing the Cowboys, you never lose. You must always win. Go for it.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See you, brother.